Welcome to the Growth Lab, where business ambition meets motherhood. I'm Luba, a mom of three, a self-made millionaire, speech-language pathologist, and founder of 2 clinics in sensory play gyms and a mobile therapy bus unit. Join me each week as we dive into what it takes to grow successful business, balance family, and create real impact. I'll share my hard-won insights and bring on inspiring entrepreneurs with stories you won't want to miss. Let's turn dreams into action, build with purpose, and thrive on our own terms. Welcome to the Growth Lab. Let's build, scale, and thrive together. Let's get this party started. This episode is sponsored by Kidology Inc., a nationally recognized pediatric therapy provider. Kidology Inc. delivers comprehensive speech, occupational, physical, and behavior therapy services in a multidisciplinary, multilingual setting. With multiple clinic locations, a mobile therapy bus, sensory play gyms, Kidology ensures access to high-quality, personalized care for children of all abilities. Recognized by the Inc. 5000 and the Philadelphia Inquirer as top workplace and industry leader, Kidology Inc. remains committed to innovation, inclusion, and measurable outcomes. To learn more, visit kidologyinc.com or follow Instagram at Kidology Inc. Today on the Growth Lab podcast, I get to sit with someone who has played a real role in my evolution as a CEO. Someone who poured into me at a time when I didn't have much but big dreams. Crystal Noell is a multi-business owner, the founder of My CFO, and the author of The Stop Method, a game-changing financial framework for business owners. Her story is extraordinary. She didn't grow up talking about money. She entered foster care at age 4 with a 20-word vocabulary and still became the valedictorian of her high school. She launched her first business at 25 and went on to build multiple companies with grit, heart, and strategy. She's beaten illness. She's a mom. She's a leader. She empowers entrepreneurs to take control of their financial lives. Crystal taught me a lot when Kidology was still tiny. She helped me understand budgeting, planning, and the mindset that I needed to build a real company. And today, she's here to share this amazing wisdom with all of you. Crystal, welcome back into my world. I'm so grateful that you're here with me.
It's so good to be back. I love watching all of your life play out. I mean, I know we live states apart, so it's so fun to connect online. So thank you
And thank you always for supporting. I know you will comment, and it means a lot to me because you really did. And it's funny, I made a comment to you because I was like, well, you know me from before or something. I don't remember. And you're like, before what? And I'm like, well, before like the business took off. So it's so interesting, and I'm sure it's cool from your side to be like, oh, wow, like this grew. This was possible for this person. And I'm sure you have tons of customers like that. And
customers, friends, everything. Yeah. I mean, from what you dreamed of from when we worked together to where you are now, it is so amazing to watch the vision become reality.
We should have you say the story, but I guess that'll be for a different time. So I want to dive in a little bit about your early life therapy on the podcast. We won't take too long on it, but I just want people to understand what brought you to today. So tell us about, entering foster care as a little kid to today being such a powerful individual and working with high net worth individuals and money and understanding the value of material things and the budgeting of being able to grow into big business. So how did that mold you today? The story of your beginning.
Yeah, Luba, that's a lot to unpack. So I was teasing Luba before we started that this was therapy disguised as a podcast.
Yeah.
I think that really, being in foster care and having bio parents that were drug addicts, I mean, we all have a story, right? Like our inner child is always hurting and we're always healing. But I think when you go without food and you go without nurture and you go without care, you can go one of 2 ways. You can become the victim and repeat the cycle, or you can be a fighter and push through it and break generational trauma and heal. So clearly I chose the latter, to become a fighter. And I think really what that did for me, I mean, even you go back through the social work paperwork, and she was stubborn and strong-willed, and, all that's in my files, that's the basis of every entrepreneur. We're all cut a little bit different, and we all have this burning thing in our gut to keep pushing in a way that a lot of folks maybe don't, who want to have the security of a 9 to 5. So I think that's really what got me going. And then I wasn't always wealthy, like you said. My family that I got adopted into didn't talk about money. It's a generational thing, right? You don't talk about your salaries. You don't talk about how wealthy or poor you are. And I mean, I know your story is incredible too, from what you've come from and grown into, and you're a fighter. So I think that's really where it was. Like, I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to repeat the cycle. And so I had to find a different way. And so when I got laid off from that 9 to 5 job, I set up a spreadsheet and every day I tracked everything. And that's really where I learned the trends and the cash flow that I was able to take from personal finance to business finance. So that's really where it started.
So from there, though, today you're teaching money, you're teaching, finances and relationships to finances. Tell us about the education. Obviously you lost your job and you started to work like this, but did you have a full mind shift or did you formally get educated to learn these tactics that you're now teaching?
Or did I get formally educated? Yes, I got formally educated, but in the college system, they don't teach real entrepreneur stuff. Like, you have to do it and live it to become it. So while I have the degree in business and emphasis in accounting, it didn't really do anything. Credits and debits mean nothing when you're really in running a business. So for mindset, I wouldn't even say like things got amazing until midway part through COVID. Like, I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years now, but it was during COVID that I finally like switched to no, my family is okay. We're well off. Like, we can now officially give back to the world because we're not just living
And I love
paycheck
that
to
about
paycheck.
you. Ever since I remember how involved you were in your kids' sports. I remember how involved you were in building like a stadium. You like built something for the team. You guys give back a lot. And I haven't talked to you in a while on that level, but that speaks volumes because you're only when you're in a position of power and when you can give back, it's wrong. It's almost wrong not to. Because there is a saying, the more you give, the more you get. And I think that's something that people really can learn from you and from understanding how to utilize your tools.
Yeah, I think you're right. When we become in a place where we're not in scarcity mindset and just fighting for survival, it is our job to show a different way and lead a different way and show how we overcame the scarcity mindset. So yeah, we did build an arena. It was our COVID project so that people had a place to practice and come to our house and play the soccer, because that's what we lived and breathed during that time. So yeah, I think there's such a hang up around money that we all think we have to be naturally good at it, but it's a skill. It's taught. It's not, it doesn't come natural. So you have to get your reps in to become good at it. And then to get out of the mindset that we're not just doing our business to serve a purpose. You do need profit. It's healthy to be able to scale and pay people better and then give back to the community. Because if you're running your business at broke even, you're still operating at scarcity. So
So say somebody comes your way, they find you online, and they don't really understand exactly what you do. Can you define your role and how you could help any business owner?
define my role and help any business owner. So that elusive elevator pitch that's going to draw anybody in
Yes,
at any moment.
give us your elevator pitch.
Really what we do is we level up business owners for budgeting. Like, we're leadership. Financial leadership is not doesn't come natural. It's a learned skill. So, and it's not just about math. Financial leadership is changing what's in here to be able to perform what's in your heart. So that's what we do. We help business owners level up their financial mindset so that they can charge for their value and really pay competitive wages, pay themselves, and run a business that changes the world.
Is this suitable for any business?
Yeah, we specialize in the trades. We work with the trades a lot, the tradespeople. But yeah, I mean, it could be for any type of business owner. We typically work with once you get about 200, 300,000 in revenue up to growing a $10 million business. And after that, you really need an in-house controller. Like, that's beyond what our scope is and what our vision
Yep.
impacts.
I don't even remember how I came across you.
It was another speech therapist, Ryan. She
Oh my
recommended.
God. And
Mm-hmm.
she lived in Cali and now
San
she would
Diego.
move to New
Hmm.
York or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Yes.
yeah.
Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah,
Now it's coming
both of
back.
you were right on the cusp of changing the world. So both of you talked because, when you get in with other people who are changing the world, like everybody's drawn to each other. So
Yeah.
that's how we all got
Yeah.
connected.
Oh my God. It feels like a lifetime has passed.
It does. There's a lot that's
I,
happened since, what did you
yeah,
say,
yeah.
2019? On both.
Oh, it was COVID time.
Yeah.
And I will say you were the first person I ever spoke to about like conversating about a dividend or an owner's draw. And I at the time had this beautiful dream to buy a building, and I still
Yep.
haven't found that real estate. So
Okay, you
I'm
haven't?
still
I know you
leasing
have
everywhere. I'm
multiple
hoping and praying,
locations. Yeah.
but I didn't get to buy the building. But you were like, okay, well, we're saving for this imaginary building, and you're gonna take these owners draws. And I'm like, what are owners draws? I was just like fascinated, but I learned so much, and I think that really laid the foundation for the growth that came after because I had a different understanding of my financial standing, of my worthiness to, hey, I did earn those things and I need to take them for myself because it was just about putting back, putting back, putting back. It's been a decade. If I continued to only put back, I'd be like, obviously I would have found some financial advice, but I was so happy it was you because we also connected so spiritually, which I love that about you.
Thank you. Same.
So, my next question is actually when we worked together 5, 6 years ago, you really helped me see the CEO role differently. What do you remember about that chapter, and what do you think makes certain entrepreneurs ready for financial clarity? Perfect stepping stone question.
Perfect. So, what do I remember about that time? So, it was really, you had huge dreams, right? Nobody told you that they were unreasonable. They were huge, they were lofty, and it was so exciting because you had already built a really solid foundation that was so creative. I just remember coming in and thinking how you had set it up was awesome. But then you had tons of systems and processes that needed fixing. So I know we were focusing on billing and like you said, owner draw and owner pay and purchasing a building. And I think at that time you were building your dream house. Like you had so much going
Yes. Oh my God, I
on.
was building my house then.
Uh-huh. Maybe you were pregnant.
Oh
And
my
so we were also
God.
getting you through to what it would be like when you went on maternity leave to take a real maternity leave. So hiring your first like big
Wow.
second in command hire. But you are so open. And what I love about your brain as an entrepreneur, right, is you move fast. You don't need to sit there and weigh out 400 million different options and weigh out different scenarios. Like you think about it for a bit, you make sure it aligns with your gut, and then boom, we would move and we would move and we would move. And so we would come back to the next CFO session and you would be like, these are all the things I did. And so it was so awesome. So that is what I remember. So now seeing you take your vision, you didn't buy a building maybe, but you now do have the play therapies that you wanted, and then you bought a bus. So, I
Yes.
mean, while you don't have a building, you have a bus. So, like baby steps, right? So, you'll eventually get to buying real estate, but you've got a bus that's mobile, and how creative is that? So, that is really what I remember. Like, you are a mover and a shaker, had big dreams, and now here we are, right? They don't happen on the direct timeline, but you're still making them happen. So that's
So
what
if
I
we
remember.
could give an entrepreneur like me out there some sort of bullet point list and say to them, hey, if you have a dream and you've been working at it for some time, this may be that opportunity to reach out to Crystal to see how she can help you level up, how she can plan for those dreams that you have. Is that a good segue for them? How else could somebody give themselves that checklist to say, hey, am I ready for something like this?
Am I ready for something like this? So I think that if you keep hitting a roadblock, like you're cycling, it's been months that you've gone through it and you've thought about it and you're still there, and maybe you hit a revenue wall and then maybe you've gone backwards, or you've hired people and they've quit for some reason, or like you were going on maternity leave, right? So if there's something big coming up, I think those are the beautiful times to put a fractional budgeting plan in place or get an accountability partner, because mostly that's what I was for you, just an
I
accountability partner.
remember that I didn't even know all those terms and I didn't think that way then because I was so focused on growth
versus stability, that really, you put those things into perspective. And I was like, wow, I learned, I was just constantly learning, and now I have that foundation. So if I had to do XYZ thing, but still sometimes I want a fractional somebody, and I'm like, how does that look? What does that look like? So Crystal, for you, you're less investment and more business structuring with the finance. Yes?
Yes. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, I love that. So the difference would be between what we do, because I sold the fractional CFO business, so I don't do individual stuff like that anymore. We hold
Okay.
master classes that teach budgeting leadership. And it really is. You want to hire. What does your org chart look like? What are you paying them? What comes with that? What type of insurance should you have along with that? What does that look like on your P&L to income versus expenses ratio? That's what we focus on at My CFO. We are a do-it-yourself, build a bridge. So then when you get to a place you can hire a fractional something, that's what you do.
How many people do you usually have in a educational group?
We cap it at 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's still very individualized. There's hot seats, there's stuff you can bring up. There's worksheets that come with it. It is very
Yeah.
much, you're not exposing all of your finances, which is really hard for a lot of people. You get the tools, you self-implement, and then you level up.
Awesome. So you created this stop method. So for the listeners that aren't familiar, can you walk us a bit through what the STOP stands for and why it works?
Yes. Before I do that, though, I want to address the elephant in the room that I get asked all the time of the stop method versus profit first. Okay. They're exactly alike, but they're totally different. Okay. So to be very clear on that, the profit first method is once you are a million, multi-million, it's a cash management tool. So once you've made it, how do you deal with it? The stop method is a budgeting tool, which is how do you even grow a business? How do you get profit? And then how do you put it into separate buckets to make sure that you don't run into any cash flow issues and go bankrupt or have to take out emergency loans? So the
Are
stop
they at
method.
the same time, or is first stop, then the profit?
So first the stop method,
Okay.
build a healthy foundation. And Mike is very open about this. Profit first is not a budgeting method. It's a cash management tool. So very different niches that they fit into. So the stop method stands for the 4 bank accounts that every business should have, which is savings, taxes, operations, and profit sharing.
Okay.
And the reason that these are the most important and why having 4 is important is because if you keep everything in one bucket, you think you'll save it, but you won't. So tax time comes the same time every quarter or every year, right? It shouldn't blindside any of us, but it really does. And, you know, the businesses we work with, they might have 6 to 7 figure tax bills, and that can take you out as a business owner.
Yeah. Taxes are.
Taxes are crazy, right? And we're not like the Pentagon where we can have gazillions of dollars go missing and then just keep operating as normal. So I love having a tax bucket that the money goes in there and then immediately pays the government. It's not even part of your operations. I love having a profit sharing because while we do really recommend you pay competitive market wages, it's so nice to reward your team when your business is doing well. So immediately money gets put into profit sharing and paid out once a quarter. And it's for the entire team, not just your sales or your executive team. It's for everybody who's executing your vision to thank them for it. And then savings and operations speak for themselves. I love the savings account because sometimes, you know, there's those extra payrolls. And if you forgot to put them in your budget, there goes that. Or if you have an opportunity you want to invest in, you pull it from savings. So you just leave your operations alone to run your business. So those are the 4 accounts that I really believe every business owner should have.
This is extremely wise. And going back, I didn't start with education like this. And now listening to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to get in front of every new entrepreneur, every new business, because this is so crucial. Instead of figuring it out at the 5-year mark, they're going to have it from the beginning, and it's game changing information and setup. Really, I'm attesting to this. Literally, literally.
I think we all say that as entrepreneurs, though. Where were you 5 years ago? I could have used this information 5 years ago, but it's because we're all running by the seat of our pants, just trying to get things done.
That's right too.
Things
The
pop into
society
our
is just
brain.
moving so fast. We're all just trying to keep
Yes.
up. you know?
Yes.
It's a tough time in that regard because economic life is changing. Things are expensive and they're not going down. Nothing's going
Right.
down. So we have to just keep working our butts off. Tell me what you think the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs are making when trying to get their numbers together.
Mm, biggest mistake. So that would qualify for one. I
If you have
think
a
the
top two, you could say two. It's not so serious.
biggest mistake is focusing on that top line. Um,
Okay.
like we can celebrate the top line, because they have stats like only a certain number of businesses hit 1 million, only certain number of business hit 10 million, and then 100 million, right? There's those stats for top line. But what does it actually mean if you've leveraged your house, or if you've taken out a gazillion dollars in loans, or if your bottom line is negative, right? So that's the biggest mistake I think we make, is that we love to share, hey, we did 25% growth, or I finally hit 1 million, or finally hit 5 million, or yay, 14 million, but we don't realize how negative that actually impacts new entrepreneurs, because then they don't pay attention to the meat and potatoes of their overhead or cogs or things like that. So that would be the biggest mistake I think we make as business
That's
owners.
so interesting. And it's so true because you're always like out to make a higher number. But if you're not positioning the things below it appropriately, am I
Right.
following? Then it doesn't really, yes, it counts, but there's so much more you could be doing with that. Like you said, I love that you said that meat and potatoes. That's so valuable.
This episode is sponsored by Kidology Inc., a nationally recognized pediatric therapy provider. Kidology Inc. delivers comprehensive speech, occupational, physical, and behavior therapy services in a multidisciplinary, multilingual setting. With multiple clinic locations, a mobile therapy bus, sensory play gyms, Kidology ensures access to high-quality, personalized care for children of all abilities. Recognized by the Inc. 5000 and the Philadelphia Inquirer as top workplace and industry leader, Kidology Inc. remains committed to innovation, inclusion, and measurable outcomes. To learn more, visit kidologyinc.com or follow Instagram at Kidology Inc.
Let's transition a little bit because obviously I'm a mom entrepreneur, as are you, and you've battled illness and you've kept building your life, your businesses with intention. How did facing the challenges of change lead the way that you've led your life, your work, and where you've gotten to?
See, there's that therapy session. Yeah, I think you saw, because I know you just went to a conference too and got an award, that I just got the CEO of the Year award.
Yes, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank
You
you. And
deserve
it
it.
was
And you look
really,
so beautiful.
thank you. I
I
know
love
that
when you
dress, I
dress.
felt like a
I don't see
princess.
you dressed up usually. And like when I saw it, I was like, she looks amazing.
It's always fun to go to those gala type things because we do
Yeah.
get out of the daily. Like my shirt today says, I'm silently creating a spreadsheet for that. Like I'm not in
That's
fancy
so
get up.
you. That's so good.
Yeah, so yeah, that award really impacted me. I think out of any time that could have come, like it's such a blessing to come now, because as you know, I was just recently diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's. So as you see my eye blinking, like that's part of it. As business owners, and push and push and push, and then when our body says, haha, you're not really in control, it's a game changer. And so I think that, I had that brain injury 11 years ago. That is the reason I am dealing with Parkinson's now. That I think that it actually gives us a different way to run our business. So I will say, quite honestly, I failed at a mom for a long time because I kept trying to prove my worth as a business owner. Being a mom wasn't enough. So I had to prove to the world that I was more than a mom, which is fascinating, right? Like
Moms are
I don't know.
such a job.
I don't know.
Yeah. And you have multiple children. People need to know.
Yeah.
You're not just a mom. You're it's a big mama.
Yeah. So I do. I had to have a lot of conversations with my kiddos and apologize to them because in some of those, really crucial years, I was MIA as a mom working those 80-hour work weeks because I wanted to prove that I wasn't broken. And so I think my daughter, I don't even know how old she was, but the turning point there was when she said, Mom, I don't ever want to own a business because I never see you. I want to have an employee job like dad has because he gets to take vacation and he gets to clock out. That was a big game changer for me when she said that. And so then at that point, I did change how I ran my businesses. And I slowly started going back from 80 hours to 60 to 40 to 20. And now I work 15 hours a week running 3 businesses. Because really, if you hire good people and you get out of their way, they show up for you in a way that's more magical than anything I could make.
That's your next course right there. 15-hour. Is that what is that? I remember that book. 5-hour work? No, no, no. Oh, yours
Hmm.
is even more, 15 hours. But still, three
Yeah.
days a week. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I hire people who believe in that dream too, right? Most of them work. They don't work a 40-hour work week, but they get paid for a 40-hour work week
Right?
because I truly believe that we're here on this planet to do more than work. Like,
Yes.
and there should be a balance. So we do have people first. You don't have to explain why you're calling out sick. You just take a mental health day. They get unlimited time. They just have to make sure they get their stuff done.
As long as you're productive, is that okay? But
Exactly.
that gets tricky with timelines, but I guess that's where you have to really come forward and be like, okay, I can't do it today. I have to get this done. So that's the
Yes.
tricky
Yes.
part, people out there.
Yeah, and I have jobs that's allowed, right? There are businesses that you cannot do that. It's just not physically possible. You have to be there at a certain time, in a certain way, at a
Right.
certain place. Those aren't the businesses I built. And I will say a lot of my team, they also all have disabilities. So they are so thankful to have a job that accommodates what they're going through. So that's what I've built my businesses around, and I'm lucky to do that, right? So I'm not saying that will work for everybody. That is not a standard to live by unless that's the type of business you've created. So it's not the norm and it's
You
not a
have a very
consistent
niche
thing.
situation and niche business, but you're right. When it works, it works. And that's the beautiful thing. I love that. You've accommodated, but it's functional. If it wasn't,
Right.
we wouldn't be having this conversation. Tell me
Right.
what you think are non-negotiable numbers that every business owner should be reviewing weekly.
Ooh, the non-negotiables. So I love the budget versus actuals report in QuickBooks. I live and breathe by that. Even though I have 8-figure business down to multi-six-figure business, that's the one I look at every single week. So when we talk about non-negotiable numbers to actually be looking at, again, I think the whole P&L and balance sheet should be looked at every single week. If you get too focused on one number, 2 numbers, 3 numbers, you miss the big picture. So first rule of thumb for a budgeting meeting with yourself is look at the whole thing. Go from top to bottom on your budget versus actuals, and then get micro on payroll. If you're running a product-based business, I love looking at COGS because those are variable based off of what you're putting out versus what you have to order. And the world keeps getting more and more expensive. So if you are not raising your prices with what it actually costs you to do business, you're doing a disservice to your company. And so I think that's another really good one. And then subscriptions. We get caught in the free trial zone, and then
Oh my
we
God.
get too busy to cancel those free trials. And so lo and
This is
behold, you might
me.
have like 10, 15.
This is a mess.
So that one I would say because we're
Oh my
notorious
God.
for it.
I've also been so bad about taking time to review my statements. And I feel like recently that's creeping up on me. And I'm going to have to print like a year of statements and sit there and think back. And because unfortunately, there's so much fraud, there's so much easy pay stuff. And you don't realize, and you're clicking, and then like the bill comes and you think that you bought all the things. But if you take a deep dive, there might be some surprises. And I've come across those
Yeah, for
without the deep
sure.
dive. They popped up and I was like, that looks strange. And I urge people, I know that this is a little offset, not only in your business, but I have business credit cards, I have, family credit cards. It's so important, I think, to do that. And I need to get my mindset into a consistent review of those things.
Yes, yes, 100%. Because I know you run a multi-million-dollar business. That should be something you should be looking at every week. Because we also, there's this reel that's out that I thought was hilarious. Like for 20 minutes a day, if you exercise, you'll be the most fit person ever. So today I am exercising for 435 minutes. So it's the same as
There you
budgeting.
go. That's
Like
hilarious.
if you just are consistent it removes the panic and overwhelm that comes with the end of year things, because
Big
we won't
booklet.
remember what we
Yeah.
did
Oh
in
my God.
January. We won't.
Yeah, it's just that shift. I got to get into the habit. You're 100% right. At what point did you finally for yourself say, I need a team? And how did you know it was time?
So when did I say I needed a team was probably when my head injury happened, because I was out for 6 months, sleeping most of the day. And then I had therapies after
Mm.
that,
You needed to
speech,
for your
OT,
work to go.
physical.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
you
wasn't
got it
available.
all.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it all. It was, you learn a lot, that you are not invincible. I love to say it. I feel like Wonder Woman, but I'm actually like Mr. Glass. So if you haven't watched both of those movies, I absolutely recommend them. But that was the turning point for me, where I did have a team, but I was the bottleneck. I answered everything. I made every decision, like
Yeah,
approved
your
all the
initial
things.
business model was one-on-one, and you had a lot of people like that. I know it wasn't too many because they're VIP clientele style, but you've changed your model a lot. So it's really cool to see your evolution also.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because that was with TNT when you were with me, and that was what I sold.
Yes.
But yeah, so that one um took off crazy during COVID, because everybody was online and wanted a fractional CFO. So again, we don't do individualized stuff like that before, but that was definitely when I learned I can't be the say all end all be all. So I
And
did.
all of the
I
stuff. Yeah.
did. We hired her second in command, and she took over everything and made all the executive decisions. And then I started switching over to the EOS traction model, which is the visionary integrator role. And so that
I love
changed
the traction
everything.
model. Yeah, because when I met you, you were a couple years post,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
still you were like doing the therapy. I remember all the stuff. So look
Yeah.
how far you've come. I have some rapid fire questions as we're winding down here. If you
Okay.
could recommend one book you think every entrepreneur should read, what would it be?
Oh, that's funny. I just said EOS traction. I think that's a game changer for not just visionaries, integrators, systems, processes, all of that stuff. It's
This is
amazing.
such
But
a
of
good book.
course, buy my book. It's the STOP
Yeah.
method. It's 88 pages. It's all about budgeting and how to run a sustainable business. So, I mean, for $16,
We're
it's a
gonna
great
add the
investment.
link in
Okay.
our in the end of the transcription, we'll add the link to your book. I hope people buy it. It's definitely
Yeah.
a necessary
And I'm a
book for
prolific reader,
entrepreneurs.
so I love to read it all. So anything Patrick Lencioni, Simon Sinek, Seth, so like Godin, like all of that. So read all of it.
You have so many
Keep,
great suggestions.
yeah.
How about one money habit that changes everything?
So one money habit is to schedule a reoccurring weekly budget meeting with yourself, or maybe your executive director or your CFO, that you do not schedule over, you do not cancel, and you really take a high level look at the finances and the vision of your company. So that's the one habit I think will change everything about your business financially.
Is there one thing you believed in at 25 years old that you absolutely do not believe in now?
At 25 years old, I thought running a business was super easy and super sexy. And you instantly got $1 million in a year. And clearly, that is not the truth or reality.
No.
So,
Nothing is
really,
easy.
yeah, I mean, it all comes in waves, right? Like when you're in your flow, things get easy. But I would really say 25, I felt invincible, on top of the world, amazing. And now at 44, I still feel amazing and curious. But I know that there's a lot of hard work that goes into successful business owners, and they do not do it themselves. And they did not get quick rich, or rich quick. So I think those are really the biggest things. Like it takes time, effort, looking in the mirror, and
Yeah.
growing as a
Oh,
leader,
yeah.
um,
Every day is a
to
learning
get there.
experience.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be hard. I saw this cool thing at the business conference that if it was easy, like you just went from on Everest, from base camp to the top of Everest, you would die. It's the same as business, right? You have to go back and forth and maybe go back to the beginning and then go there to make the leap, to learn the lessons and get your body where it needs to go. So then you can lead people. And business is the same. You're supposed to fail and relearn until you have the ability to grow.
So solid. That's like amazing, amazing advice. Where can people learn more about you, grab your book and contact or work with My CFO.
So grab the book on Amazon. There's a book and a workbook. Love them. If you want to work directly with my team, we're launching a mastermind class for the $1 Million Blueprint that launches in January. And then I'm on Instagram, My CFO, Crystal Noell. And then I'm really trying to grow YouTube. I have 14 followers. So, it's where I'm putting all the education.
You should show a day in the life.
Yeah, I think my day in the life would be really boring to most people.
We want to know what you're doing, how the brain is moving for those finances. What are we looking out for you in the next 12 months? You have anything exciting coming up?
Do have a lot of exciting stuff, but a day in a life, I'm really going to tell you, I am not a neurotic business owner. I do not have a million things scheduled. I move slow. So I'm like the sloth in Zootopia, So when I get in my car, I'm really fast.
We're I have a hard stop. We were running behind, but look what we did.
Yeah, we did it.
Made it happen.
And in the next 12 months, we are launching the 2 mastermind ones for $1 Million Blueprint. And then the other is Budget Mastery for 10 million, because I really feel like you need mentors who have done what you've done. So I've done all of that. And now we can pour into business owners who want financial leadership in a different way.
You're the best. I'm so happy to chat with you and have a friend in you. I'm super cheering you on from over here, and I appreciate all of your cheer to me. And I just wanted to thank you for being here. Thank you, Chris, for your participation today in the Growth Lab. I hope everybody gives this video a like, share if you know anybody that might benefit from hearing this. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Growth Lab podcast. See you next time.
This episode is sponsored by Kidology Inc., a nationally recognized pediatric therapy provider. Kidology Inc. delivers comprehensive speech, occupational, physical, and behavior therapy services in a multidisciplinary, multilingual setting. With multiple clinic locations, a mobile therapy bus, sensory play gyms, Kidology ensures access to high-quality, personalized care for children of all abilities. Recognized by the Inc. 5000 and the Philadelphia Inquirer as top workplace and industry leader, Kidology Inc. remains committed to innovation, inclusion, and measurable outcomes. To learn more, visit kidologyinc.com or follow Instagram at Kidology Inc.